Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Most likely good evening. Okay, so this vlog is going to be about classes. There's two different types of classes. There's the Disney College Program classes, and there's also the classes taking for college while you're here on the Disney College Program at the Disneyland Resort. Alright, so there's about 6 classes that you could possibly take while you're here. 2 of them are ACE credit worthy, which means you can get credit for them while you're on your internship here. Personally, in order to get credit for any of this internship, you have to talk to your advisors at school, which I'm on a scholarship at my local community college, and they don't cover that, and I don't have the money to get credit for myself. So I'm not getting any credit for this internship. However, if you are able to get credit for it, I would suggest it. Otherwise, it's still going to be on my on my resume, so that's at least I have proof that I did it. And otherwise, it's just about the experience. But anyways, classes. 2 of those classes that are offered by credit are corporate analysis and marketing U. Corporate analysis is basically everything in here is self-explanatory in the title. So corporate analysis, it's all about the corporate. Anything about Disney, corporate history, strategies, governance, performances, cultural backgrounds of it, the globalization of Disney, everything like that. And so, unfortunately, while I was here, it's not available during this semester, so I didn't have a chance to take it. But I am taking Marketing U, which is, I think, an awesome class. Learning anything about getting a professional job. So if you want to get a job, for part-time just while you're in college, it's not aimed towards that. It's aimed towards your professional job once you get out of college and trying to get your career started. So you learn anything about marketing, your skills, such as like running your resume and cover letter, networking strategies, and going to interviews. When you go for a professional job, you will have to do group interviews most likely, and so we're taught how to act in those situations and the proper responses and the questions that will most likely be asked, and then also negotiation of wages. For interviewing, we actually did a simulation in class, so that we actually had 4 people from cast scheduling come into class that one day. It was last week, and then 4 people at a time from class got to be in front of the class and got interviewed by these people for a job with Disney. Sorry, my contacts. And so basically they asked any questions that would be asked in an interview, and then they saw how we reacted and how we answered our questions, and they gave us feedback. And this is the only time you'll actually be able to get feedback on an interview such as that. So it was very helpful for us. And the funny thing is, I decided to go up there in front of the class and do this interview as well, which was very much out of my comfort zone. But I did it anyway because he kept saying this is the only chance you'll ever get, blah, blah, blah. And while we were doing the interview, I realized all the things I was doing wrong, but I couldn't help myself. And that's not good. Even if I know I'm doing something wrong and I keep on doing it, yeah, that's definitely something I gotta work on, so I definitely learned something from that. Alright, so the other classes are Leadership Speaker Series, which is basically you sit in a classroom or auditorium. I'm not sure what they do. I think it's an auditorium. And they listen. Each week they have a different person. Normally it's a vice president, so vice president of food and beverages, vice president of Tomorrowland, vice president of attractions, vice president of all of Disneyland. So people like that. One at a time, they'll come into the class and they will tell their story, how they got involved in Disney, how they made it to their position. So basically their success story. This way it kind of gives you helps you like make your decisions and say, hey, hey, I could do it that way too. So that could help, and many people choose it because there really isn't that much homework. So a lot of the lazy people are in that class. So another class is Blended Learning Series. Again, it's all about Disney. Half the time in that class is spent in the classroom, the other half of the time is actually spent out in the Disneyland Resort doing things such as scavenger hunts and stuff like that. So it's all about learning about Disney again. Um, the other one is Professional Development Series. The Business of Show Business is the one of the classes in that series. Again, that's one of the classes that's all about Disney. So that one's like about the theme park operations, the management, entertainment, community, communications, human resources, all of that stuff. So, I mean, like I said, it's all in the title, Business of Show Business. So those are the different types of classes you can take. Classes normally run for 4 hours, 8:30 in the morning till 12:30 in the afternoon. And they're once a week. So mine's on Monday, so mine or those 4 hours in the morning on Monday. Now, most people take 1 or 2 classes. That's all you can take is 1 or 2 classes, because a lot of people take 1 because they say if you take 2 classes, then that blocks your availability for work, because that's no matter what, you have to take 1 class. But if you take 2 classes, that's a whole nother 4 hours in the morning of some other morning that you cannot go to work, and so that limits your availability, which limits your hours for the work week. And I didn't want to do that because I need the money, so I only took 1 class. But I would suggest you take 2 classes. And now school courses. I take 4 online classes right now. I am on a scholarship and I have to stay a full-time student. And it is very difficult. I can say that at the least. I say way too much. I'm sorry. And I move around way too much. I'm sorry about that too. Anyways, I am a full-time student, and right now I'm taking 4 online classes, which is 12 credits. And basically, I am just doing it for the grade at this point. I have no time to hang out with everybody else. Everybody else always is hanging out at Disney or going out and having fun or just relaxing in their apartments, which I can't really do. A lot of times I want to rent a video and just sit down and relax, but if I rent a video, I tend to watch it as I get ready for work because I don't have time. What I normally do is I either get up, start doing schoolwork, and then go to work, or get up, go to work, then come home and do more schoolwork. Not very fun. All I'm doing is doing the assignments, though. I don't have time to read the chapters, don't have time to actually study and get to know the material, so I'm not really learning anything right now, and it feels like a big waste of my time, but I have to do what I have to do. And so if there's anybody else who's on a full-time scholarship and has to stay full-time, yeah, you might as well do it because the internship is definitely worth it, but just know that the following summer or whenever you actually get a semester off, you're going to have to read through those books that you didn't actually get a chance to read through, which, well, I hope I will be doing during the summer. Who knows if I actually will, but I hope I do, because it seems so interesting anyway. Just make sure you save the easier courses for the online courses. You know, you don't want to be taking calculus while you're here. That's something that definitely takes a lot of time. I mean, I'm taking sociology, psychology, history, and computer literacy, which is about the Microsoft Office program. So there's nothing that takes up way too much time, but each of them all 4 together, plus my Marketing U course, which makes 5 courses. It is a lot to do, and I'm always doing things last minute. A lot of my assignments are actually turning up late, so I wouldn't suggest taking 4 online classes. What I would suggest is taking 1 or 2. This way you don't get out of the habit of not doing homework and get too into having a lifestyle of Disney. But yeah, I would suggest taking 1 or 2 courses. 2 would be great, 3 would be pushing it, 4 is too much. So I would definitely suggest taking 2 classes from school, and if you live near the area, great, you know, you can go to school. That makes it a heck of a lot easier on you. But if you can't do online courses, make sure you save them. Make sure they're easy courses, even if they are electives. At least you have something to keep in touch with. So yeah, just keep in mind that you probably will end up spending at least 4 hours a week on each subject. So that's the end for 4 classes. Have a good one. Is it gonna be awesome?